So you lost your virginity on a porn thing?
No, definitely not. But my virginity to a girl, yes.
So you lost your virginity to a girl from
Kenzie Taylor. That was the first person, yeah.
from a porn scene. That is
yeah, and
crazy.
I was a little nervous, but I was like, and then when I finally did it, the director was like, "Hell yeah, boy, go at it," and I was
That's
like, "Okay, cool."
actually insane. I've never heard of anyone. Wow. What do you think your body count is?
I would say like 5,000.
5,000?
Yeah, I would say like 5,000 if we're just counting like people from OnlyFans to now. Like, yeah.
What about in total? Like 5,000?
I would say like way more. Like if we're counting like my whole life, since I would say like 9,000 or so.
9,000 people?
Yeah, for sure. I've met hundreds of fans, and many of them take me out, and yeah. Of course, yeah, no, hell yeah. I meet fans even at the clubs when I go out to the clubs.
Really?
I've been followed home by fans, and they sit outside my door 100%.
Welcome to the BossTalks podcast. It's Bossman here. And if you've ever seen my Instagram, or you might know who he is, I have a cool guest. And what's extra cool about him is not only does he do this, but he does music as well. So we'll dive into a little bit of that. But until then, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Daniel Hausser.
Yes, sir. So you're a little bit interesting because it's almost like you're switching career paths in a way, it feels like.
Yes, I am switching career paths a little bit for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Music has been taking over my life a lot lately.
Mm-hmm. So what got you into that?
I just started posting on Instagram, singing videos of myself, and I got reached out by some people who wanted to. They didn't know that I could make music too. They just thought I could sing. So they were like already planning to like have writers and have like producers and people like. But I ended up like I already knew how to make my own music, so they ended up being like, oh, he knows how to do that. So they ended up like just pushing me to like get the songs done, record them, and then get music videos done for them. Because the visuals are so important.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. And so I guess with that, like how do you like filming like the music videos? Like, is that kind of walk through that a little bit?
Yeah, to film the music videos is really interesting because you kind of have to go on each frame, like every part that you're recording, you have to go through the whole song because you never know what part they're going to use in the editor, And I got really lucky. My editor is Shauna Deli, and he edits for Todrick Hall and Troye Sivan, older music videos. So he edits for celebrities, and I was really excited to see what he would do with my music video. Mm-hmm. Pretty much what happens is you show up, you have to go, like, you have, like, let's say 3 sets in one day, and you have to go through the whole song in each set. Mm-hmm. So that they can use whatever part they want, and if they want to do like cuts towards the end and go back to certain parts, then you're singing the part that goes at the end. Mm-hmm. Whatever you need in that moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you've been hitting music for like about a month, pretty hard.
I've been hitting music now since the beginning of December. So I would say about like 2 months now, actually. Yeah.
Cool. So you've been doing that 2 months. How long have you been like doing the OF stuff?
OnlyFans, I started it in 2019, and I was 19 years old.
Yeah, and you did studio stuff too, right?
Yeah, I started with men.com, and I was the first model to have 4 men.com scenes drop in 1 week. And it was like kind of like a big scandal because a lot of people didn't think I should be like somebody that drops 4 scenes in 1 week because I was really young, and I still am really young, but like I was even younger then. So people were like, oh, he's not a man, it's men.com. He should definitely they should not be giving him that much praise. But that's kind of how I started with men.com, and then it just led me to work with every other studio that started reaching out, and I would check them to see if they were cool, and they were, and I would fly to Europe or fly wherever they would fly me, Canada.
Wow.
They
were flying you all over the world. Film videos?
For a studio, yes. I've been to London, I've been to Czech Republic, Spain, I've been to Germany, so I've been around most of Europe, and I've been to Canada to shoot as well.
Wow, yes. That's actually really cool. I didn't know that they would like fly you out to like different countries.
Yes,
and stuff.
Men.com is owned by MindGeek, who's the parent company, and they also own Digital Playground and Brassers and a bunch of other companies. They also own Men.com. So I went to Canada to shoot for like Bromo, and my scenes were so good that they posted them on Men.com as well. And then I shot my real Men.com scenes in San Diego. So they really shoot all over the country and all over the world. They shoot in Spain. So yeah, they end up just flying you there if they need you,
Yeah, that's really cool. I think that's probably the only like I guess studio that I've heard is like actually good, because like I hear like in the industry like studio stuff, which I've never done it, so I don't know, but
yeah,
like I hear it gets like really sketchy, man. Like
I've personally never had a bad experience, and I've worked with almost every studio in the industry. So
Really?
I don't have anything like negative to say about studios. Actually, they did help me promote my OnlyFans in a way, because once I started hitting OnlyFans harder, which was during the pandemic, because I was really busy with studio work before that. All of 2019, I was really busy with studio work. I worked for so many companies like Staxus and many companies, and I ended up realizing that those scenes would just promote my new work. So when the pandemic hit and I was like, okay, let me do OnlyFans, and everybody was trying to collab with me, I was just like, okay, let me do this. But I know that all these new scenes that are coming out are going to be promoted by every studio that's ever filmed me. So I end up like getting a lot of people that message me on OnlyFans saying, hey bro, like I totally saw your scene on, you know, whatever, Next Door Studios, and you know, I really like your OnlyFans, so I'm subscribing. So at the end of the day, I've never had bad experiences with any studio, actually, and you can find scenes of mine in almost all of them.
Not even, I guess it's called Helix Studios?
I was going to start with Helix, and I ended up switching to men.com instead. So it was like I had moved to Vegas at the time because Helix is in Vegas. This was in 2019, like in February, and I had met with the owners and everything, and I was going to shoot for them. Around that time is when Joey Mills left and other people left, and I didn't know if it was sketchy or not. So I ended up like when men.com reached out, I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna work with you guys instead, and that led me to so many other things that I am glad I did. So I ended up not shooting for Helix, but so therefore I don't know if they're sketchy or not, but I will say that because of what I saw was happening at the time when I was about to join, I ended up going with men.com instead, which is an even better studio that pays way more money for sure.
That's what I've heard. I guess I'll never really know, but what's kind of the difference like between doing studio stuff and your OF stuff? Like, how do you separate?
Studios are hardcore. You show up to a studio scene, and sometimes you can take like 8 hours. My first scene that I did with a girl was for Why Not Buy.
Oh, you've done straight content too?
Yes, I've done straight content. And the first girl that I was with, her name is Kenzie Taylor. She has like 1 million followers on Instagram. She's really known. And I did a Why Not Buy scene with her, and that scene probably took like 7 hours to film. Just because there was a lot of B-roll, meaning like a lot of like B-roll is what you call it when you're like doing acting beforehand, before the sex drops in. So you have B-roll and A-roll, you know. So A-roll, sometimes they shoot A-roll the day before, and they do all the, you know, sex part the day before, and then they shoot B-roll the next day. So
I didn't know it did.
Because otherwise, because otherwise you're looking at like 5 to 8 hours shooting a studio scene. You have the director there, you have the equipment people, you have the gaffer there, you have lighting people. Gaffer? The gaffer is the person that like he understands the lighting, he knows where to place it. They always have a gaffer there, especially for men.com, because they have really big budgets for their scenes. You have a script. Sometimes you gotta memorize the script, sometimes you don't. For OnlyFans, it's easy because you're in power, so you can go ahead and you can make the scene whatever you want. If you want just one light sitting there, then you have one light. If you want to shoot it outside, then you shoot it outside. So it's really just about the fact that for studio, you're not in charge. And for OnlyFans, you are. So whatever's happening on your OnlyFans is because you want it that way. Yeah.
That's interesting. So I've heard that it takes 7 to 8 hours, but I never even thought about like the day before going and filming like either the hardcore stuff or the soft stuff, and then the next day like running it back and doing it again.
Yeah, 100%.
That makes way more sense because then I guess you're not as mentally drained.
Yeah. The reason why some scenes took 8 hours is because, like I said, we did both A-roll and B-roll on one day. One scene that I shot in Czech Republic was me as a priest, and we had to go out to the fields, and they had me sitting there. They had me praying up to the sky as a priest, like dressed as a priest, and they were like with a GoPro like all over, like looking at the whole view, and it was beautiful. You can find that scene online. I've shared it on my Instagram too, because the B-roll is so strong that I can share it. So yeah,
that's actually really cool. I gotta find out that scene you're talking about. Kenzie Taylor, that's her name?
Yeah, Kenzie Taylor. She's really cool.
I'm going to look up that scene after this. I got to watch my boy put in that work.
Yeah, 100%.
But so I didn't know that you've ever filmed straight stuff. What would you say your sexuality is?
I'm definitely bi. I've been bi my whole life, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking you were just gay. I don't know.
Yeah, people think that, but you know, you can't judge a book by its cover. So
no,
yeah, 100%.
Well, so like if I didn't know you, I would assume you're straight, but just from like what I've seen on Instagram and like I've never really checked out your corn stuff, but
100%. Like I think that from looking at my Instagram, you can see that I'm mostly post gay stuff. But you know, I look the way I look really young. They want to see me with usually like muscle guys, and that's why there's a lot of muscle guys on my Instagram. Until like I posted so many muscle guys on my Instagram that people were like, "Hey, can you collab with people your age more?" That's when I started reaching out to like you and Spikey D and Chris Stewartson to make videos. You know. because I was getting like feedback from people like, hey, you're only shooting with muscle man, and we want to see you with some people your age as well. So
Yeah. So would you consider yourself like a twink or a twunk?
I would definitely consider myself a twunk.
Mm-hmm.
I just turned 25. And it's always crazy because people are always like, your twink death is at 25, and that's fine because I never even wanted to be a twink. I wanted to be a twunk. So,
Really?
and a twunk is pretty much a twink with muscle, a twink that starts working out, and then they maintain their figure and they, gain muscle and they look good.
Yeah. I'll say you got some nice muscles.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely like showcased that even in my music video. I had parts where I was shirtless and yeah.
Do you work out a lot?
I work out like 5 to 6 times a week. Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Man, I was like you, man. I go maybe 3 times a week.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
funny.
That's about it. But I guess you can tell because you're looking good.
Thank you, bro.
But so what got you into doing OF? Like, did you start the studio stuff or the?
I had started OnlyFans, and I thought I was gonna just keep doing it in 2019. However, in 2020, when the pandemic hit, I realized the studios were not filming anymore. So I was just like, I'm gonna have to do OnlyFans if I want to continue doing this. And it was really good because people already knew me from so much studio work that I had a lot of models that were like, okay, let's collab now. Like, so I was like, okay, let's do it. That's really what brought me into it. If it wasn't because the pandemic hit, I probably would have continued doing studio for a while more.
So growing up, did you want to do this like?
It didn't hit me until 18. No, I wanted to just be an actor, and I did child acting. I was in a decent amount of movies when I was a kid, all the way from like 14, 15, 16, 17. And then at 18, I had left to Germany, and it's when it hit me. And I was like, I think I want to be a porn star. And the reason why is because I saw a porn star at the clubs, and he was walking around and everybody knew who he was. And I was like looking at him and I was like, yeah, like people will know who I am. And like, I want to do that. So that's kind of when like 18 hit me that I wanted to do porn for sure.
So you want to be famous?
I kind of like at the time, like, and I feel like now I'm pretty famous to where like I'm comfortable with it. But at the time I wasn't, and at the time I had just turned 18. So when I saw that porn star getting recognized and stuff, I was like, whoa, like that's really cool. Yeah. And I would love for my community, like the gay community, to see me that way too. And that's really what started it. But I didn't know how to enter it until I started posting on Twitter, and then X now, and then my videos started going viral on Twitter for my own OnlyFans that I had at the time. So studios started reaching out. That's when Helix reached out, and when men.com reached out, just because my Twitter at the time was doing really good.
Yeah, that's cool. So, like, if you film with a studio, are you ever allowed to post it on your OF, or do they like keep
no, you're
that?
not allowed to post it on your OF. They own the rights to that.
Dang. So I
they
guess
can
they
sue
just,
you. Yeah,
yes.
100%. Unless you somehow bring your lawyer into it and you get a contract that says, hey, I can post it as well. But there's no reason why they're paying you if you're still gonna make money out of it afterwards.
Right.
So
yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Well, do you have any like cool stories like from OF? Like, have you ever met like a fan or did anything cool like because of it?
I haven't met any fans. Honestly, I would just say like I've collabed with so many people, and I've been like around the world so many times. That's pretty much the coolest part about it. Like just traveling and being with like hot guys and like doing hot things and going to parties. I think about like what the cool thing about porn is that you have all these like parties you can go to, and like you just stay clean, but like you have all these parties you can go to, and there's so many things that otherwise you wouldn't have access to go to, honestly, because they don't just let like fans into a lot of places. Like,
right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't. Man, I feel like I like don't do that. Like I'm not a corn star or anything. Like I feel like I'm just like a OF model that like does this stuff, but I think it's just what I tell myself to make myself feel better.
I understand.
I don't even know how to explain it. I'm just like
I understand. You're not missing out on much. You're doing really good.
Yeah.
I'm really, really happy for you. Yes.
Thank you. I just feel like if someone calls me like a corn star, it like gives me the ick. I'm just like, I'm like, not that.
I guess you're like, I guess I know if a model and a porn star are very different. These days, the line is very thin when it comes to the difference. But if you really, really want to dissect that, like a porn star is somebody that's been in like many videos that the world knows, that's been on many studios, that's been nominated, that's won awards. And then an OnlyFans model is somebody that does OnlyFans. And it's really like, I think these days we're like getting to a point where like the line is thinning out so much, and just everybody calls themselves a porn star, and that's not really the case. And I've said this many times in many other podcasts before. It doesn't bother me when OnlyFans models say they're a porn star. It's just like, it's fine, like you are doing porn at the end of the day, but like you're a porn model, or like there's a difference there definitely is, but people don't really like realize that these days, so I don't even bother about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was gonna say, I feel like there is a difference, and most people don't really know about it unless you're like in the industry or like doing something related to it where they're like, okay, so here's the difference.
There's definitely a difference, yeah. I had won Best Newcomer at the Gavian Awards and also like Best Twink at the Pornhub Awards. So that's when I started calling myself a porn star, because before that I was calling myself like an adult model.
Yeah.
Just like an adult model, because I was just like, okay, I've done scenes, but I haven't won anything or been nominated for anything until I did. And then I was like, okay, maybe I can call myself a porn star now. Yeah, but it took me like a year or so, and then I was like, okay.
Do you have to do studio stuff to win like awards?
100%. Yeah, you can't just make an OnlyFans video and expect to get nominated at the Gavians or something like that. You have to do studio work, and it has to be like a really cool scene. Yeah, something that's like sticks in people's memories for decades. Because there's many fans that I meet, and they're like, you know, I'm relatively like started in 2019, but these fans, a lot of them are in their 50s or whatever, so they've known porn stars for like the last 30 years, and they know what scenes are memorable. So when you make a scene that's that memorable, they remember it the same way.
What do you think would make a scene memorable?
Just what happens in the scene. Either it is the B-roll, like if it's really cool, or if the models in it just give it their all. And I did a scene with Bosin for Bromo, and it's called like Bitch Boy or something like that. And I'm wearing lingerie in it, and it's one of my scenes that people say is one of the most memorable things I've done. And I think like the positions that we used as well, like there was one where I was like upside down, and yeah. So I think some things that make it memorable will be like positions, will be like B-roll, attires, what you're wearing in it, something that makes it not different from all the other scenes.
Yeah. So describe the upside down.
There was like a railway, and I was like literally like my feet were up, and then like I was like down on the floor with my hands down, and he was like behind me hitting at me.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And it was like definitely tiresome to do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like.
And we had to do it a couple times. It wasn't just like once or like twice. Like Isa, the lesbian director, she's an amazing director. We shot this in Toronto, and she was like, "Come on, Daniel, you gotta do it like 3 more minutes, bro." And I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Do you want me to hold myself 3 more minutes?" I was like, "All right, Isa, I'll do it."
I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know people actually watch the B-roll part, because I don't really watch porn.
Yeah, no, I understand. So. You'll find it surprising that a lot of people do watch the B-roll part, especially for me, because coming in from acting when I was a kid, when I started porn and studios started hiring me, I made it very clear to every director that came across me that I didn't want to go straight to the sex part. I didn't want to go straight to the other part. So I told them very clearly, I was like, we need to have B-roll in this if you want me to do it. Because I'm not doing a scene that's like basic, like directly to sex. No, hell no.
That's interesting. So I guess you probably really get into the acting part. You probably like.
I really do. Yeah, I enjoy that the most, for sure.
Huh? More in the sex?
Yeah. I like the B-roll a lot because it reminds me of like what I used to do as a kid. Like I used to act a lot in films and things like that. So it kind of brings back my memory to that. I will say that it's hard to enjoy the sex when you're on film because there's people there. I enjoy more my OnlyFans scenes because I just, you know, put camera somewhere or we're holding the phone, whatever it is, but at least it's just us. And or one person recording, that's it. But like when you're on a studio like men.com, you got the gaffer there, the lighting person, you got the microphone person, you got the director, you got the people that are supposed to make us sign paperwork afterwards. You got like a whole crew there, and it's like, man, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot for sure. But on OnlyFans, you can actually enjoy it way more for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I always feel weird because like I feel like I don't like it as much like if there's a camera on.
Yeah.
And like, but that's because I've never done like what you've done. So like to me, it's different because I feel like weird with the camera on.
Yeah, I would say like the best, like if you ever did do a studio scene, like just you gotta ease up into it, like be like, okay, like there's gonna be way more people in this than, you know, just the OnlyFans thing, and then like you realize that when you get there and you see like a whole crew there.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever do studio work just because like I couldn't walk in a room, there's like people in there like just watching, so I'd be like really uncomfortable.
100%. When I shot with that girl Kenzie, it took me a second to get hard because I was nervous about the people there. She was making me really comfortable. She was cool. She was really hot. She was making me feel really. But everybody that was there, and the director, no, because Tom Moore is an amazing director, and I already like knew him from shooting other scenes with him. But man, everybody else that was there, I was like, man, I'm about to fuck a girl for the first time, and like I definitely.
Was your first time?
She was the person I lost it to. Yes.
So you lost your virginity on a porn stain?
No, definitely not. But my virginity to a girl? Yes.
So you lost your virginity to a girl from...
Kenzie Taylor, that was the first person, yeah.
From a porn scene, that is
Yeah, and crazy. I was a little nervous, but I was like... And then when I finally did it, the director was like, hell yeah, boy, go at it. And I was like, okay, cool.
That's actually insane. I've never heard of anyone... Wow.
Yeah.
Like, because I know they always caption it like, what's this virgin, whatever, blah.
Yeah.
This is real.
Yeah, I actually did. It was my first time with a girl that one time. Yeah. And I saw other
That's
girls
crazy.
after that, but she was my first experience, and she was great. She made me feel really comfortable.
And so you were obviously 18 or older, so I guess you didn't lose it to a girl.
I was
till you
19,
were-
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was 19.
So like with doing corn and stuff, I guess you've probably been with a lot of people, huh?
100%. I've been with so many people. I've done over like, I would say now since 19 that I started, I've done like 1,500, 1,500 OnlyFans collabs.
So what do you
Maybe
think
more.
what do you think your body count is?
I would say like 5,000.
5,000?
Yeah, I would say like 5,000 if we're just counting like people from OnlyFans to now. Like, yeah.
What about in total? Like 5,000?
I would say like way more. Like if we're counting like my whole life, since yeah, I would say like 9,000 or so.
9,000 people?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't even know if I've like talked to 9,000 people in my life. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
I've
sure
talked to a
I
lot
have.
of people.
What?
Yeah, I know, it's a lot.
So you say you were 25 or 26?
I'm 25 now. I just turned 25.
So 9,000 divided by 25.
Yeah.
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
I was really young when I lost my virginity. I don't like to talk about it.
Okay.
I was really, really young, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually insane.
But things happen when you're like, yeah, things happen.
Interesting.
But yeah, if we're counting since I lost my virginity to now, around 9,000 people. But if we're just counting like my like OnlyFans and like people since 18 to now, I would say like 5,000 for sure.
That's crazy to even think about. I can't, like,
Yeah.
my mind can't really process
Yeah,
that.
bro. I know. I get that a lot.
Dang. And you're still doing, like, new collabs and stuff?
I am still doing collabs. Yes. A lot of people have been asking me because I put out my music video like 2 days ago,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people like the music video, but a lot of porn stars were messaging me saying like, "Hey, like, is our collab still happening?" Because like, like it looks like you are don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But I do. I still want to continue every now and then. It's just like I've reached a point in my OnlyFans career and even in my porn star career that I've collabed with almost the entire industry. You can find pretty much everybody on my Instagram and everybody
Yeah.
on my OnlyFans that exists.
Yeah. Have you ever
So
collabed with, sorry to interrupt. Have you ever collabed with Timothy Champagne?
Yes. In 2021, we collabed Two Eyes.
Does it feel like, was that a studio?
No. We did one. We had the OnlyFans cult, which was Timothy Champagne. It was me, JP Hadley, and Tony Goodfellow, and I think it was another guy. I think it was Ace Carter. And at the time, Ace Carter and Timothy Champagne were very good friends. And I went over to JP Hadley's house, and we made a video in the penthouse. So I made a video with Timothy that time. And then I think it was a week later, we were still in New York. I went over to Timothy's hotel, and we made another video. And then I also made a video with Ace Carter that same time. We did like one after the other. And then we all went to the gym together. So that was in 2021. I haven't collabed with him ever since, but like I don't repeat that much. Like there's so many people to collab with that I don't have the time to be like, hey Timothy, let's meet up. People usually hit me up saying like, hey bro, like 2 months later after we collab, and they're like, let's collab again. And I'm like, well, like we just did a collab this year. Let's wait until like at least next year to do another collab. So like we have like an update, you know.
Yeah.
But it's reaching a point to where like I've already collabed with mostly everybody. I'm not saying I've collabed with the whole industry, but I've collabed with 90% of the industry, literally. So
Yeah.
I really feel like it's good for me to like adventure into other things. I'm still really young, and I feel like I can have more to offer than that.
So have you ever done a collab with Drake Vaughn?
I haven't done a collab with Drake Vaughn, but we are really good friends. Him and his brother, I've talked to both of them, but I don't want to get involved in that situation. I if I collab with one of them, the other one is gonna get mad at me. I don't wanna touch that right now.
You have a boyfriend, right? Like while you do all this?
I do have a boyfriend. His name is Spikey D.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great boyfriend. He's supportive of my music career. He's supportive of my porn career. He has his own porn career that's popping as well. So we came to an agreement that like, you know, when we see each other, we see each other. We're both really busy. I have so much to think about with music now. It's like even porn, it's like, okay, like fine. Like OnlyFans is interesting, but like with music taking over so much, like I don't have a lot of time to see him, and he's also busy with his OnlyFans situation. So,
well, he does music too, don't he?
He has done a song. I think he put out some songs before, but he is definitely way more focused on OnlyFans than music, compared to me. Like I am way too focused on music compared to Spikey. Yeah, but we came to an agreement. Like, you know, when we see each other, we see each other. And if we don't see each other for like a month, then we're busy, and that's it. That's the way it is. But we're both very mature in that way.
So are y'all like in an open relationship too?
Definitely, it's open. It has to be, yeah. Where he's making videos with people, I'm making videos with people. There's no way that we could be closed.
Yeah.
No way.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot to handle sometimes, like when it comes to like, you know, when we do see each other where like we really enjoy it, but then like it's like it comes to a time when you're like, okay, like now we really gotta just go back to our lives. And we're not like, you know, it hits us, but we just keep it up because we know that at the end of the day, like we need to have money to afford our relationship. What am I gonna take him out to the movies with if I don't have no money? So we need to make money somehow. So otherwise we can't do cute things together. So
man, you gotta do the boss man method, bro. You gotta take him to McDonald's.
That's funny as fuck.
So I remember you met my ex-girlfriend like the first time you came over.
Yes.
And what's funny is like our first date, like I took her to McDonald's.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so
I love McDonald's.
Yeah. Still got them cheeks too. But that's probably more her fault than mine. She's just kind of easy. But what was the first thought you had when someone asked you like out-of-pocket question, like on OF? Because obviously you talked to him, so... Like, has anyone asked you for anything that's, like, insane?
Oh, yeah, 100%. People have asked me to, like, pee in a bottle. People have asked me to fart in a jar. People have asked me for...
Have you ever done that?
I did do it. I did do it. People have asked me to, like, not so bad to put, like, onesies on and things like that because I just look so young, I guess. But, like... I mean, mainly, like, the hardest ones were, like, you know, fart in a jar and, like, keep it inside the jar. I don't know what they wanted to do with that, but...
Did you sell it to him?
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Daniel Hausser fart jars. Message him on OF.
That's so funny. Oh, my God.
How much did you sell it for, you remember?
It was, like, 700 to 800.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I'd do that, then. Like 700 out?
And I don't even know if like the smell came out. So like when I jarred it, I was like, is the smell even still in the jar? Like, are they gonna open it and actually smell it? I didn't know. I just closed it and I just sent it to them. I was like, okay. I was like, I just closed that and I sent it. I was like, all right.
Sorry. All right. All right, so, like, did you do it in the jar and then just, like, close it up really fast?
Yeah, I did. I closed it up as fast as I could because I was like, is it going to stay in there? So, yeah. But no, I've been asked to do many things over the years. Many things.
All right.
But some things, the beauty about, I don't know if it's because I've done so many studio work and a lot of people recognize me, but, like, a lot of people actually ask for really nice things. Like, I get paid to, like, go out on dinners with people.
See, I've never done that, but like I want to.
Yeah. There's so many positives. Like so many positive. Like you can get paid to. I get paid. Some guy pays me to watch TV with him.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like to just hang out with him.
Just to
pretty
sit
much?
down and watch TV. Like we don't even sometimes talk that much. We watch something.
So like, where did you find this guy, or where did he find you?
They just like reach out to me. They reach out to me on Instagram, or they reach out to me on different platforms, and they're like, "Hey, I really like your content. I really like your scenes. I'm a big fan of you. Like, it would be cool to just be able to like shake your hand, and from that it leads to like, hey, do you want to go to dinner? Like, okay, what am I going to dinner with you for? Like, what am I making out of this? And then they pay me something. So then it's like,
so technically you have met a fan off the...
Oh yeah, no, I do have met like, oh my God, yeah, I've met hundreds and hundreds of fans. Did I say I didn't earlier?
Yeah, you said no earlier.
No, I do, I have. Oh my God, no, I've met hundreds of fans, and many of them take me out, and yeah. Of course, yeah, no, hell yeah. I meet fans even at the clubs when I go out to the clubs.
Really?
I've been followed home by fans, and they sit outside my door, 100%. I parked my car at the library in West Hollywood, and I literally I've seen like last year in 2025, in 2023, like late 2023 to like mid 2024, I got followed home by like 7 people, 7 different people, and 7 different times I went out to the clubs. It was like until like mid 2024, like September 2024, that I stopped going out to clubs that much. But yeah, recently I had somebody left a bag of chocolates in front of my door, and I told my friend, I was like, that was staying with me, I was like, hey, don't open that. I was like, and he did. I came out of the shower and he was eating the chocolates, and I was like, why would you eat the chocolates? Like, you don't know what they have. Like, and yeah, no, I've had men that just sit outside my door, that sit in front of my door, like on the little like hallway. I've had so many situations, so it could get creepy, but I've also had really good situations where I meet fans at the clubs and they just like either get me a drink and I just give it to one of my friends because I don't even drink. Or like they just like walk up to me and they say they like my videos, and that leads to like, hey, do you want to go out to dinner, or like anything like that. So
well, don't follow me home. I know how to fight.
Yeah, I don't know how to fight, but yeah, I ended up just like calling the police every time that somebody would show up. But the police take so long to get there that, yeah, sometimes it was like 3 hours and no cops would show up and the guy was still sitting there outside. And I was just like, man, I just hope they're like not timing it to see how long the cops take to get there and they come at night and try to get me or something. Because
That's actually just crazy, man.
yeah, like I would park my car at the library in West Hollywood and I would see people follow me to the library. And I thought at first, the first time it happened, I was like, this man is probably just getting in his car and going home. Like everybody parks at the library in West Hollywood to go to the clubs. Everyone does.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't think anything of it. But I live like 20 minutes away from West Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you have to sometimes go through the mountain in order to get to Glendale where I live.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be really weird to see the same car pull out of the library in West Hollywood the same time I would, and then look in my mirror and see behind me like the same car following me through the mountains, 20-minute ride. And I was like, how is this guy still behind me? He has to be following me. Like the first time that it happened, it was like scary.
Mm-hmm.
And then I parked my car and I walked inside my house, and I don't know, I saw the car keep driving. So I'm sure he went and parked somewhere, and then he came and he sat outside my place because I was watching through the window and I just saw him sitting there, and I was like, yeah, like this is not cool. And I unfortunately it was like not living in a apartment that was like with security, so anybody could just walk.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, it hasn't happened a lot until the chocolate stint happened, which was in like December that the chocolate stint happened. But that was in December. But like it had been like maybe 4 months or so that I hadn't been followed home anymore. So I was like more easy, and I wasn't going out to the clubs anyways. So it's not like anybody could recognize me and follow me.
So would you like call a friend and be like, "Yo"?
No, I called the cops. I was like, "There's somebody sitting outside." My sister is a sheriff. I was like, "There's a man sitting outside my door, like a full-on 50-year-old man sitting outside my door," and I'm like literally 5'5", and I'm a boy. Like I don't know what the hell he's gonna do to me.
Yeah.
So it definitely got to a point where I was like, yeah, and I would time it. The police sometimes would take like 3 hours to get there, and the guy was still sitting there. So
that's why you gotta call one of the homies, man.
I know. I don't live in a place where like people, all my friends, if they live in West Hollywood, it'll take them like a while to get to Glendale.
20
anyways,
minutes is better than 3 hours.
It's true. 20 minutes is better than 3 hours.
Man, yeah, dude, that's really scary.
Yeah.
And that's something that I feel like would happen in WeHo. You know?
Oh
like,
yeah, 100%. My best friend Chenny and I, Chenny BX on Twitter, he's my best friend, and we definitely like we were followed home by somebody just like back last February, and he lived like 2 blocks away from the clubs. So even worse then, but I lived like 20 minutes away, so just seeing the same car follow me home the whole way home was like creepy, and it happened like 7 times with different cars, different people, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I guess you're pretty known around WeHo.
I'm pretty known in the gay community for sure. Yeah, 100%. I even get recognized when I go to like countries that I don't think I'm gonna get recognized in. So I was born in Costa Rica, and we have like in Costa Rica you have like the little shops that is like an outdoor like shops where they sell like whatever, they sell like earrings or whatever. And I went with my grandma and my mom to that shop and my older sister, and I got recognized in front of my grandma and my mom. I got recognized by the owner of one of the little shops. And he was like, "Oh my God, Daniel Hausser!" And he came to see me and my sister. I was like, "If you want to take a photo with Daniel, you gotta give me free earrings." So she got some free earrings out of it. But but like definitely like I get recognized in even like places I don't think I'm gonna get recognized in. Really? Like randomly. I get recognized in airport bathrooms a lot. Because one of my most known videos is me in an airport bathroom. Actually? So yeah.
How do you do that? Like, do you like reserve it or?
No, it just had happened, and I don't even remember. It wasn't even in the United States. It was like in some country. I don't remember what country I was traveling to, but but people from the United States saw it. So when I'm traveling, like I obviously don't have sex in bathrooms anymore, like ever. But like anymore. But I do travel a lot, and I find myself at the airport, and a lot of people do recognize me at the airport, even at the airport. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not really that famous in the gay community, but I actually don't really know because I live like in Tennessee.
You'll find that a lot of fans also are scared to come up to people. So like you could be walking around West Hollywood and get recognized left and right, and people are not gonna want to walk up, and they're gonna be like either intimidated by you, or they're gonna be like, is he even gonna like care that I like know him? Or like there's just so many things go through fans' minds that they are not secure of just walking up to you. So when somebody does like do that, that means they just have the courage to just come up to you and tell you like they love your videos and they wank it to you. So yeah.
I've only had like I think one fan ever like just go be like, "Hey, I've seen you before." Like that's literally it. So I don't know, I guess I've only been to WeHo once, and that was yesterday for like the first time since I've had like any kind of following.
How do you like it?
Well, that's cool. It was dead yesterday, but there's this.
It was Monday, I bet it was.
Yeah.
You can go to Make Out Mondays at Rocco's.
Oh wow. Well, we did go to Rocco's. I didn't see anyone making out, but
That's funny as hell. Maybe it was like a flop Makeup Mondays.
Yeah, like this porn star girl I'm friends with, and she's just showing me around. She's trying to go to like this like porn star music thing. I don't know. I don't really know what it was. I was like,
okay.
Nah, I was not in the right space when she sent it to me and was like asking me about it. But what would you say the craziest thing you've done with a guy on camera is?
I would say the craziest thing I've done with a guy on camera would be...
Besides the handstand.
Yeah, I know. Let me think for a second. I would say boynapped.com. So for Boynapped, which is a studio in Spain, it's pretty much kidnapped but boynapped. So they like get a boy and like I was tied up in this like rolling circle that rolls. So my head was up here, my feet were down here, and at some point my feet were up here and my head was down. And they put all these like clips to like hang clothes, like in the old times where they used to hang clothes with, and they would like attach strings to it, to the machine in front of me, and it would twist. And as I was twisting in circles, all these clips would pop out and it would hurt a freaking lot. And you can find all my 4 boy-napped scenes. So all of them are very different. But that specific one I would say was the most painful one. I also did another scene for boy-napped where like Alex Fall and Sean Taylor were like throwing wax at me and water and like hosing me with like a water hose, but I wouldn't say that's as crazy as being in the machine that I was in the first scene. It was like they were twisting me in circles and the clips were pulling out and it was just hurting a lot. And that's definitely like, I would for sure say that's the wildest thing. Yeah. Because I wouldn't do that again. Like at all, ever. Yeah. I'm not a kinky person whatsoever. Like I'm very vanilla. Very, very, very super vanilla. Like I just want to make out with you and fuck, and that's it. Like I don't want to be doing some other shit. I don't even like toys. I've never like used like any dildos or anything like that. I don't like it. Really? Hell no. Yeah, no, I don't like it at all.
So you don't ever like, do anything down there ever?
Hell no. Unless somebody is like doing it with a real thing, like nobody's touching me down there.
So how do you prepare? Like how do you like kind of like stretch a little?
You mean like prepare? Like I don't have to prepare. Like I just take it. Yeah, I thought by prepare you meant like douching. I was like, yeah, douche. But like, no, you mean like prepare in the sense of like it's gonna hurt when they just go in. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, no, I don't go preparing. I don't go stretching myself out with no toys ever in life. I've never done that. Ever,
not once.
No.
That's interesting.
So I just got I'm not even stretched. I'm just like I'm still tired somehow, even after I've done so many scenes. Yeah. But like I just go at it. I don't really like be preparing. No.
Well, I guess the hole's like a muscle, so I guess it gets stronger. I guess.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't really know how it works. I feel like you'd either be stretched out or get stronger. Either one, I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely gets stronger, I think. Because I'm not like stretched, I'm still really tired, but it definitely has gotten stronger. Because I can just take it, like, yeah.
Does it, have you ever had like any like crazy like gangbangs or anything?
Yeah, 100%. I did my scene for Sketchy Sex. I did actually 4 scenes for Sketchy Sex, and all of them were super viral. One of them I drilled a dildo into a coffee table and I had to write it, and it was like a law because like I said, I don't use dildos. Another one was like the actual gangbang, which you just asked. It was like maybe like 10 to 12 guys, and I was the only bottom. And in the scene, I'm having a conversation with Jack Stereo. And Jack Stereo is like asking me like what do you want to do in your life? But as that's happening, everybody is like, using me. But I like turn to him and I'm like this. I'm like, of course, getting used. But I turn to him and I'm like, yeah, I want to have like 6 kids and I want to have like a really good like partner. And that went viral. Like that has millions of views and everywhere that you can find it. Like
I kind of want to watch that.
Yeah. It's called I forgot the name of the scene. But it's pretty much like you can just search Daniel Hausser Sketchy Sex and it'll come up.
So I got 2 videos of yours to watch later.
That's funny.
I probably won't, jerk to it or anything, but I'll watch it. That's funny. So what's the craziest custom request you've ever got on OF?
The craziest what?
Like custom requests. Like, do you do customs at all?
Oh, I don't actually. I was, like I said before, like it was the jar thing and things like that, but like I do so much. Like, I already make so much money, and I barely even reply to messages on OnlyFans. Like,
you don't reply?
I rarely reply.
What?
People know this. People that follow me, they know I don't have the time to be responding to people, and I am not about to have somebody reply for me and pretend that they're me, because fans already know that that's a thing. Like, all fans know that people are doing that, and they know they're not talking to the real porn star, and they end up unsubscribing. I rather they know the real me and know that I'm too busy to be responding to them, and know that I'm still posting on my feed every day, and they get that, and that's more than enough. Because if I do respond to one of them, they know it's like a rare occasion, because I'm just busy. I'm busy. Even before the music took over in December, I was busy as hell. Before that, I was making like 5 scenes a week on OnlyFans, and I was posting a lot of them on my Instagram, but I was making so many scenes. I didn't have the time to be responding to people. I was tired afterwards. I wanted to sleep. I wanted to like relax the next day. I had another scene. Like, I have to travel, sometimes drive to my scenes. Sometimes they come over to my place, but like, so many things happening that I don't have the time to be sitting there. And like, I post on my OnlyFans and I see that does good. I see my income. If the income was decreasing, then I'll be like, okay, let me go on my DMs. But if I'm making 16 to 20K a month and I'm not replying to messages, that's good enough for me right now.
You're making about 20,000 a month?
16 to 20,000. Yes, 100%. And that's like going back to like, that's how I'm affording a music career now. Because I've saved a lot of it over the years. So yeah, and I would say this year is when I started making about 20,000 on a good month. On a bad month, 16,000. Because I would say like in 2020, and by that I mean 2024, sorry. In 2023, I would say I was making like about 13 to 16. And then in 2022, I was making like 10 to 12. You know what I'm saying? So every year has been like advancing for sure. But it wasn't until like 2024, the last like 5 months of 2024, it was like, it went from like 16, 17K to like now I was making 20K. So I was just like, okay, let me save money. Let me like get into music. Let me like actually put my songs together now.
And a lot of that, you think the income like increased that from Instagram probably?
I would say I am one of the most famous porn stars on Pornhub. Like really, like I'm one of the top ones. If you can search my porn star rank, it's like, I don't remember what it is, but it's like really good. And I get a lot of people that subscribe to my OnlyFans that comment on my videos and say, hey, I found you on Pornhub and I'm really happy you have an OnlyFans. So I would not even say Instagram. Instagram is great. Yes, I get a lot of traffic from Instagram. I'm not denying that. Of course I do. But Pornhub, for sure. I have like 36 to 40 million views on Pornhub. It's a lot to have. So yeah, like I'm definitely know that that's what's bringing a lot of traffic for sure. And also my studio work. And my studio work is all over the place.
Yeah. So
there's just I have so many ways of being promoted. I'm being promoted by like over 40 studios, by my Pornhub, by my Instagram. So like it's like, you know, I tried TikTok many times, but like I would get deleted and it would be like, oh, you look underage, or like you're taking your shirt off, or like things like that. So it was like, I stopped bothering with it.
So I have a question, and you might not know the answer, but so if you have that many videos like for studio work, like it's free, they can just search it up on like, the hub or whatever. Like, how come they subscribe to your OF?
100%. I do have an answer to that. The answer is that I've gotten hotter over the years. I didn't have a lot of muscle when I started at 19. I was very twinky when I started at 19. And I still looked great, but I just didn't have the muscle I have now. And people know that the way to access my new content, because I only post on my Pornhub trailers, meaning like a minute to a minute and a half the most. People know that the only way to access that really would be my OnlyFans. And I also just have a lot of loyal fans. And a lot of loyal supporters that actually like want to stay on my OnlyFans even if I don't post for like 2 weeks sometimes, which usually never happens. It's only happened like once or twice, but they still don't unsubscribe. They're pretty chill. So the reason why people pay, like my answer to that would be like, yes, they have like studios and things like that, but all of that, it's nothing compared to what I'm putting out now. I have more muscle now. I look better now. There's so many different things about they want to see what I'm putting out now. And if they want to watch the older work, I mean, that's fine. But I have so much new work that's the reason why they subscribe. You just got to keep putting out work. So even if you have a lot of free content out there, hell no, that's not enough for everybody. Like they want more, and you keep putting out more, and you keep bringing good people onto your OnlyFans, and you do videos with them. Like there's more reason for people to subscribe to you. Yeah, that's my answer to that for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, I've always wondered, because I feel like if you didn't do studio stuff, maybe you'd make more, because there'd be like a lack of
free content out there. I personally don't know the answer to that, because I would say that studio work promotes my OnlyFans a lot, like I've said before in this podcast. Like there's so many studios that have my name out there, and people just want to see new work. That's the key. People want to see new things. People want to see something new. Same with music. You put out one single, but 2 months go by and people are like, okay, like what else are you putting out? You know? So it's always about the new work. That's what drives it.
And how many times would you say you get like a nut out in a day? How many times you beat off? Or
I would say like I've done it like 7 times before in a day that I nut out like 7 times. But I would say like once, twice.
Once a day on average?
Yeah, once or twice. Sometimes I go crazy.
yeah, me too, man. Especially when I'm at home all day not doing that.
Yeah, 100%.
That's rare now, but that's cool. So do you think, being in the industry, do you think it like affects like your love life or your sex life? Like kind of walk me through that a little bit.
So my love life, it affects it because, like I said, Spikey D and I only see each other every now and then. It definitely affects it. He's traveling to shoot with people. I'm traveling to shoot with people. We're all somewhere different all the time. It does affect it does affect the romantic life. As far as the sex life, it doesn't really affect it. Work is work, but when I'm with somebody off camera, it feels great, and that's the cool vibe about it. But it doesn't affect my sex life at all. No, like it definitely doesn't.
Do you have anything like specific in bed that you do that like maybe no one else really does? Like, is there anything that separates you that's memorable?
I honestly, like I said earlier, I'm very vanilla. I like to kiss. I like to like fuck. And I mean, I like to like make love pretty much. Like I feel like because I've done so much work on this industry, when I get to have something that's not as superficial as doing a scene with somebody on camera, because that's very superficial. That's just very like on the surface. When I get to dive deeper into like, it almost satisfies me more, because that's what I don't get in this industry. I don't get the feelings. I don't get the emotion. I don't get like none of that. I don't get the connection. All of that's what drives me. Like if I get connection, if I get, if I feel like we're making love, but we're not because we're not in love, but like if it feels deep, then all right, that's cool.
So I guess in that aspect, you kind of work off emotions, right?
Yeah, like I definitely do.
So have you ever like accidentally caught feelings for someone?
Hell no.
Really? Well, all your exes are like porn stars, so.
Yeah, all my exes are. Yeah, they are.
So what's that mean? Technically, you got feelings for them, right?
Yeah, I had feelings for my exes, but we met in very different situations. Like we didn't meet on a scene at all.
None of them?
None of them. The first one, Trent Olsen and I just met at Pride. The second one, Jared and I met just on Twitter, and he came over to my place and we just like played music together. The third one, Max and I met at a photo shoot. The fourth one, Jeremiah and I met when he had just moved to Vegas. We went to walk the strip together. So there was something different happening that made me have a connection with them. It wasn't like, oh, let's shoot for OnlyFans, and then all of a sudden I had feel. No. It was like we met at different instances and situations. So yeah, that's kind of how that worked for sure.
That's pretty interesting.
I would say Spikey will be the only person recently that we first met doing a scene, but we didn't catch feelings for each other in that moment. We caught feelings after we were hanging out more and more and more and more, and we were spending quality time with each other, and it was like, okay, like now we do have something to share. But like with all my other exes, we weren't doing like porn when we met. We weren't doing any OnlyFans when we met. We were just like, it just happened to be that we were in a situation where we could show our real selves to each other, and then boom, it happened.
Yeah, because I remember when the first time we met, it was actually you and Spikey. And I always wondered, like when y'all were there, I was like, I think they're dating or they like each other.
We definitely weren't dating then.
No.
It took a second for us to start dating, and he asked me while I was like on a plane and I had just landed in LA. And then the first message that came in was him asking me to be his boyfriend. And I was like, oh.
He did it on text?
He did it on text, yeah. We didn't see each other. No, that was cool for me. That was fine because he did come over later on. We did finally sit down and actually like talk about it. Because I did answer yes in the text. But when we saw each other in person, we like sat down and we were like, okay, we realized that we can't see each other that often, right? Like we both realized that, right? And we were both like, yes, we realized that. So let's move forward with that. And then that's when it was like more official.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know, man. Your life is just interesting to me. You're just like an interesting person. It's cool.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. You're definitely probably like the most like realistic, chillest like corn star that I've met.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. Have you ever been like, how do I say, like down bad? Like especially like when you were younger, like probably before 18. Was there ever a time you were just like so horny that you just banged someone like you didn't really care for?
100%. I was like doing a lot of things before I turned 18. A lot of things, even at the gym. even like in many places, I would always work out, even though I wasn't gaining muscle at that age, but like I was still working out. I would meet a lot of people in many places, like at the library. Like I would meet so many people in so many places, and I would just be turned on and like all the time. It was a lot for sure.
So like where did you live growing up? Like in high school?
In Los Angeles. Here in LA. I went to Grand Arts High School.
So you grew up in LA?
Yes. From 11 years old to now. Yes.
Wow, that's cool.
I'm an LA boy.
So when you graduated high school, what do you think your body count was?
At the time I graduated at 16. I graduated 2 years early.
Oh.
I didn't do junior and senior year. I only did freshman year, and then sophomore year I did homeschooling because I was so busy with acting and films at the time that I didn't have the time to be at school. I would say my body count at that time was like, man, it sounds bad. It was like 3,000 or so, like 2,500.
3,000 before 18?
Yeah, 100%. Like it might be more. 100%. I was very wild.
That's like 10 a day. Wait. So
not really 10 a day, but
so
like
3,000 divided by 365. So
there was a moment in my life where I went to Sex Addicts Anonymous.
What's
and
that?
I saw it's like where you sit in like I was 19 or no, I was 18, and I had a boyfriend at the time, and I was working at a gym, and right when I turned 18 I started working at this gym, and it was coming into my affecting my life because I was hooking up with people in the bathroom while I was at work. And I ended up, yeah, bro. I was like, and my boyfriend at the time would come with me to work, and he would sit there the full 8 hours that I was at work, because he was like knowing that many guys would walk up to me because I was at the front desk, and I was just starting to many guys would walk up to me, many muscle guys would walk up to me and be like, hey, like, I want to do something to you, and I was always like, okay, like I would never usually say no if they were hot, so. Like it got to a point to where like it was affecting my relationship. I was hurting my ex-boyfriend a lot of the time, like meaning like emotionally, of course. And it was affecting my job because I was like sometimes not doing my work and just hooking up while I was at work. And it ended up to where I went to Sex Addicts Anonymous, which is where you like, it's like kind of like Alcoholics Anonymous. You sit down in a circle and then you talk about your experiences and how it's affecting your life in a negative way.
So it's like an AA meeting for sex addicts?
100%.
So is there anything like, I guess around LA, is there like, so before I ask, what's like a bathhouse? Like, do people hook up in those? Like,
yeah, they do. Yeah, 100%. My first, one of my first jobs after the gym, or it was before the gym that I talked about earlier, was a bathhouse, and it's called 1350, and it's down by like Wilmington and all of that area. So pretty much like you enter, and then there is like a person at the front desk, and you give them your ID, you pay whatever you're paying to get in, and then you either get a locker room or you get a room, and then you walk in, and there's sometimes a gym there, jacuzzi, steam room, sauna. And then there's like all the rooms, and then like areas for people to eat. Sometimes, like I said, there's even a gym in some of them. So there's sometimes like 2 floors, 3 floors, and then you just kind of walk around searching for whoever you like, and you take them to your room and you do whatever you want to do. Or if you just get a locker, you're hoping they have a room, or you can just literally like do something right there in the hallway. It doesn't matter. Like you can do it anywhere.
Do girls go to that too?
It's just guys. Like I haven't seen like a straight bathhouse, but there might be. But I've only seen gay ones.
So I guess like
I got fired from my first bathhouse I ever worked at.
How?
It was happening like people were like coming in, and there was like a line at the front to get in, and I was the person getting people's IDs, and I had just turned 18 too, and people were like staying there to talk to me, and they like the line was like taking too long to like get in, so that like people would finally walk in, but like then we had such a long line that the owner was say, okay, you can't be taking people's IDs because people are just literally staying there to talk to you, like they need to be walking in. So he took me off that, and then he was like, you should just go clean the rooms after they're done. And I was like, okay, so I'll go clean the rooms. And then people were following me around all over the place. And any room that I would walk into, like we had like 6 men walking into the same room right after me trying to use me. So I was just like, oh my God, like I was like, I can't do this either. It got to a point to where the owner was so fed up with me. He was like, you need to go. Like, yeah, you can't use you. I just can't.
So would it be like 6 guys would follow behind you? Would you actually
100%. I wasn't doing anything with them in that moment because I knew that if I did, like it would be really bad. I didn't want to get fired, but I ended up still getting fired because it was just impossible for me to get something done. I could barely clean the rooms. I had like so many guys in the room. I was like trying to clean the room and I couldn't, and I would just leave the room and go back and tell him. But after like 2 weeks of that, he was like, okay, like I'm having to send other people to clean the room, so I don't know what you're gonna do here. Like he's like you can't do anything here. You can't go clean. You can't. You shouldn't be working at a bathhouse, at least at the time. And I ended up leaving.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. Is like so I've always heard about them. Like I didn't do too much research on it, but when I looked up like bathhouses, like When I look at
They're
the
wild.
images on Google, like they look nice. Like they look kind of like high
Hell
end.
yeah, they're
almost.
cool. They're cool. Some of them are like 3 floors like, or stuff, and you can walk around. There's so many things to explore.
So like, what if I went there and I walked in the sauna? Is there like a chance people are gonna be like
100% people are gonna follow you in.
No, not follow me in. Is there gonna be like guys getting their cheeks clapped in the
Oh,
sauna?
100%.
Like,
Yes,
while
there's
I'm in
gonna be like this a bathhouse. They can do it anywhere they want. They can do it inside the steam room, inside the jacuzzi, inside the pool.
That sounds awful.
They can do it inside. Like steam rooms are really cool. Actually, I like steam rooms.
So have you ever like got your cheeks clapped or vice versa, like in a sauna?
Hell yeah, many times.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I did. It was cool.
So I've always wondered because it seems like people are into that, and I'm trying to figure out like what the hype about it would be.
Yeah. It's warm in there. It's cool, and you don't get cold. You can take all your clothes off. But like at the bathhouse, you can do anywhere. Like at the gym that's in the bathhouse, you can do it there too. Anywhere. Like it's once you enter past the doors of a bathhouse, you can do it anywhere there. Like anywhere, no matter where. Yeah.
So what about like, would you not get like really sweaty and gross?
Yeah, people get sweaty and gross, and then they jump in the pool.
Oh man, that sounds kind of gross.
They do what they do. Yeah.
I wonder what it smells like in there.
From working at one of them, I can say that we keep it really clean, or we did. I've been to some bathhouses where sometimes it does smell weird, and I leave. But most of them, they do a really good job at keeping that clean. For sure, because otherwise they wouldn't be getting business. They really need to keep it clean.
Do you ever go to them, like in your free
100%? There's many that I've been to before. I haven't been in the last like 6 months, 7 months, but before that I was going a lot. Yeah, I liked it. It was fun.
So like if you're ever just like at home, you're horny, you're bored, lonely, whatever, you just drive
like
up
really,
to the bathhouse?
I guess so. If you really can't get action at your home, like I have guys that I know, and like if we hook up at my place or at their place. But like it's about how you feel in that moment. The times that I've been to the bathhouse as a customer and I go in and I like do my thing, it's because I feel like I want the adrenaline of being in a place like that. Because usually I'm just fine with hooking up at home, but like it's all about how you feel in that moment. It's like, oh man, I really feel like walking around the halls and seeing who I find at the bathhouse. It's like it's the adrenaline of feeling that way. Yeah.
Man, I bet they eat you up at the bathhouse, man. When you go.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It was really nice talking to you, man. So,
of course.
I guess I'll catch you on next one. You want to plug your socials?
Daniel Hausser X on Instagram.
What about the music?
My music is all under Daniel Hausser. Spotify, everything. Daniel Hausser.
Everything.
Yes.
Links will be in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.